What's up, guys? Twintuitive717. While the Bossy Beeves is on her lunch break, I'm going to dive into the masculine's energy here. And what I'm feeling is it's a really specific message. I feel like I'm getting a lot of excitement coming from the masculine collective, and then it switches to this kind of like down energy. Okay, so I'm also hearing celebratory. So what the overall message I'm getting is something big is happening with the masculines, and it's like they want to celebrate, but they can't celebrate with the person who means the most to them. And I feel like that's you, because you guys could be in separation, and I feel like, again, there's big things happening, and your masculine wants you to know at some point, like, you've been their muse in terms of making things happen. It's like you've showed them your world, and they find that your world is very beautiful. Even though you guys are in separation, I feel like you've inspired your divine masculine to take a lot of positive action when it comes to making things come true for themselves. Okay, but it's like, now that those things are happening, you guys are in separation, and they can't help but think back to maybe when you both had conversations about where they are at now. They're looking back and maybe smiling and remembering that you might have gently nudged them in the direction that they're in now, and they can't help but smile. It's like they have big things going on, but it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel as celebratory because they can't share it with you. How is the masculine feeling in their heart space towards the divine feminine and the twin flame connection? How is the divine masculine's feeling? Okay, so we have past life relationship. They could be feeling very nostalgic as well. So there's certain things that remind your masculine of your energy, okay? Certain places that they may visit or frequent, or when they drive in certain streets, or like if you guys live in the same city, for example, they can't help but think about you. This is a masculine that thinks a lot about you when they drive as well. Like, I don't know if they have to drive a far distance to commute for work, for example, but they spend a lot of time, like, talking to you is what I'm getting on the drive. Okay, they may talk to you. If they turn on the radio while they're driving, all of a sudden a song will remind them of you, or it'll just be so synchronistic that they can't help but think that, you know, there's something about this divine feminine that I can't forget. Okay, so that kind of energy may be coming up for them right now, where, again, like, I see a masculine where it's like everyone around them is celebrating and congratulating them, and deep down inside they're putting on this like mask where it's like, thank you, and that's great, and, you know, like, I'm seeing like champagne glasses, like cheersing with people, but deep down inside there's this sadness that it's like the one person that they really want to share this accomplishment with is not around. How else is your masculine feeling in your heart space with this kind of energy, divine feminine? Universe, please, can we kindly confirm what the masculines are feeling? Okay, so we have free yourself, and we have new love. Okay, so a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, so you two could be a thing of the past, but again, your masculine feels like every time big things end up happening for them, good or bad, you're the first person that comes to mind. You two could have known each other for a really long time, but I feel like lately the versions of each other that you're seeing and experiencing, it's feeling like new love. It's feeling like, are we finally in a place to pursue this as two mature people? Okay, that's what I'm getting. Like, I feel a really romantic energy as well coming from this. Like, a lot of your masculines have been silently working very hard towards a particular goal, and part of it is taking back control of their life. Okay, because we have free yourself, and because they've freed themselves, they're approaching you as a new love. Okay, something new is brewing between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay, let's get into let's get into the past a little bit. Okay, what has the past been like in this connection? Okay, so third eye and clarity. With third eye and clarity, I'm getting the word triggering, because as you awaken on the journey and receive more clarity, it could pull you apart, right? And I feel like for some of you, because your masculines had to go off on a particular, they had to go off on a particular path, because if they stayed in this connection with you and in contact with you, the separation is what triggered them to go off and accomplish what they've accomplished. Okay, and so I'm hearing for many of you, the past had a lot of triggering and back and forth and coming together, but ultimately the separation was needed for some kind of dark night of the soul, like when you experience, you know, kind of rock bottom or a major trigger. And for your masculines too, like when you separate divine feminine, it's hurtful for you, yes, but I'm hearing it's excruciating for your divine masculines, okay? Because with the divine feminine energy, you have a way of eventually self-regulating those emotions and being able to handle them. I feel like with your masculines, it has been excruciating being separated away from you, but at some point they knew that it was necessary. Like there was no way that you two could remain in communication and have your masculine accomplish what they've accomplished now, okay? Because you have been a major trigger for them to take action in a particular area of their lives, okay? Let's get the present. What is the present energy like between you two? Okay, so we have deception and we have temptation. Okay, so another thing I'm getting is exactly what it is. Maybe many of your masculines choosing to move off in a new direction, a different direction. And there was deception in the connection in a sense where like there could have been ghosting or pulling away, or I feel like for many of you, I'm getting like a heart shock where it's like you'll be in communication with your masculine and then you'll not talk for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden they're in like a new location or somewhere else just kind of living their life and doing their own thing. And it always came as like a big soul shock for the divine feminines to have to deal with the like I want to say abandonment issues. And I feel like for a lot of your masculines, like it's just like I want to say the word selfish. Okay, so that's something that they have often struggled with, is not being able to connect with other people in a way where they can't help but just look out for themselves. Like even like narcissistic tendencies, like not being able to connect with people on a deep level. Okay, having so much mistrust about other people that it's like you never fully allow yourself to sink into someone, okay? And if you do have relationships in your life, oftentimes they're very superficial, and these people only see like that black and white side of you, okay? There's no room for anything else. It's just this or that. So I feel like that is the present. Like that is what you guys are dealing with. I feel like for the divine feminines as well, like moving forward, okay, deception and temptation for me gives me the last straw. And that's why I'm saying, like, I do feel like a lot of your masculines are going through major changes because something triggered them. And I do feel like it's you completely turning your back because of whatever this deception and temptation was. It really triggered your divine masculines to go through a major change. They could have been blasted with a whole bunch of synchronicities around this connection and you and who it is you really are the moment you experience that deception and temptation and your masculine went in a different direction. What they weren't expecting is to have that communication completely shut down and cut with you. So they really had no choice but to now focus in on themselves. And that's why I'm getting the word excruciating, because it's only that kind of pain that makes this masculine, you know, move in a different direction. I see that through, because the thing is, like with many of you on this journey, I do feel like separation could never fully happen. It was more just time out or distance. It was never a full-blown like you off in your direction, I'm off in my direction. That's why we have this push and pull, right? Because time out, distance, and then 2 weeks later, you guys are back to communicating and talking, and then a month later, there's this big trigger, space, come back apart. But I feel like for a lot of you in the divine feminine energy, what you've learned with the divine masculine is to remain in that state of separation until the divine masculine is the one to make that contact. And I feel like that's when many of you will see that new love or that new person who's taken back control of their lives. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for some of you guys who may be on that push and pull journey and you keep kind of scratching your head going, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing different? Like, why am I going in circles with this person? You know, I feel like for many of you, the lesson in the divine feminine energy is to really fully like move forward, detach in a sense, because the triggering of the masculines leaving was affecting your attachment issues, okay? Specifically when they detach from you. So this time the divine feminines were choosing to remain in their power and do the detaching. Instead of letting your masculines continuously trigger that wound, many of you were like, wait a second, what if I just triggered my own wound, and instead of continuously feeling abandoned by them ghosting or pushing and pulling, why don't I just pull the plug and see what that does? And so what it did in turn was heal that wound for you, because you took that sacrifice, you removed yourself from the situation, right? So let's get the future for you guys, since that's the direction now that the connection is moving in. I feel like a lot of your masculines are now fully stepping in again to experiencing really beautiful big things in their life, but at the end of the day, they're noticing these celebrations, they don't feel the same, right? Many people around them are celebrating with them. I'm also hearing celebrating off of them and feeling this victory, but no one can tell that on the inside. A lot of your masculines are like, you guys don't even know where I got the willpower or motivation to do this. If I could tell you it was my divine feminine, I would tell you, but I feel like that's what's hidden with your divine masculines. It's like so much is going on in their life, so many big things, and you've been the muse behind all of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a future card here. What can you guys look forward to in the connection as your divine masculine moves through their lessons, and as you as well, divine feminine, you kind of move through this portion of the journey? A lot of you know that many of your masculines want communication, or they want to reach out in some way, but I don't feel like a lot of you have the energy for it, or you have the space for it, because many of you may be at peace since you've closed that chapter, and you're loving that peace. You've grown to love that peace away from the push and pull. But I feel like sometimes the universe might be nudging you or letting you know that life is about growth, and life is about the good and the bad and the highs and the lows. And as much as many of you want to remain in your safe space and you want to remain comfortable, that's why twin flames feel energy between one another. It's because no amount of distance or blocking each other is going to stop the connection. Just because you block them or move to another city or hook up with another karmic partner or try to move on with this person, the energy doesn't lie, right? Like, you still feel your person with you very, very strongly. So this is for what's to come, okay? And I feel that it's the divine feminines. I do feel your energy there very strongly coming through, because I do feel like a lot of you are closed off and guarded and resistant to opening up Pandora's box again. But the thing is I feel like, many of you may not be in control, because what I'm getting is a divine masculine who, like, they're going through this journey as well in their own way. It may not be through the spiritual path. It may not be through learning about it through tarot, but they have common sense. They know what's going on around them. They know when they wake up every day, brushing their teeth, you're the first thing on their mind. They wonder about what it is you're doing. Loving you silently is what I'm hearing from this divine masculine. But I do get for the divine feminines that, like, this closed off, guarded, resistant energy, you're going to be learning something about it in terms of sometimes we're not in control of the journey at times when it comes to energy, right? Because energy doesn't lie. Like, a lot of you, even your masculine could be in Timbuktu right now and you would still feel their energy, right? It doesn't matter where they are, what they're doing, what it may seem on the outside that's happening with them. At the end of the day, it's like, it's illusions. Like, you could see many of them, again, celebratory energy, but deep down inside, the one person that they want to celebrate with, or the one person who's been the muse behind all of their accomplishments, they can't, okay? And they want to, but you're closed off, divine feminine. So I'm going to leave off this reading by saying that, addressing this deception and temptation, and rather than kind of hold the energy there in one place, allow it to, like, burst you open and feel the deception, feel like you're masculine. Yeah, they were tempted in another direction. They went after it. They learned their lessons there as well. But what do you currently feel in the connection? I feel like that's what many of you are going to be asking yourselves as your masculine pushes for communication. A lot of the divine feminines are going to, kind of have to force yourself to be truthful about the fact that you still hold space for them. Now, whether you let them in, it's completely up to you. We're not telling anybody what to do here, but I just feel like a lot of you are going to be faced with, yes, I'm closed off and resistant and guarded against this connection, never again. But when your masculine ends up making contact, I do feel like a lot of you will be curious to like hear them out, like find out what this new love is all about. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys for this one. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.